Hey guys, this is not a view that I get to do very often, but with all the stuff that happened this weekend, I just wanted to check on the hive and, make sure everything was kosher. And basically, it's a great problem to have, but I just have a lot of bees in here, and it looks like they're getting a little bit crowded. And so I'm going to make some room, or I have made some room, by putting in this empty frame. Which they will happily start working on and filling back up. I'm not going to put it on the end there like it was. I'm actually going to put it a little bit closer in the middle. This frame, I'll take out and show you, but is basically 100% honey. That wax capping on the outside, that's when it's full of cured honey and it's ready to go. So that thing is 100% full. Backside is like 50% full, but that is the bees' honey, so I don't get to take any of that because they need that for them. And this is challenging to do one-handed, I am discovering, and also trying not to crush any bees. So this next one is that cell right there. All of those are capped brood, so those are baby bees that are going to hatch in the next couple of weeks. All through here there's nectar and pollen, and then more capped brood, more baby bees. This other side, same thing, all capped brood. This corner is honey, and you can see some pollen, those different colors of pollen. And then brood all throughout. Basically, and the reason it's all kind of peppered around like that, in fact you can see some of these have larvae in them. You can see the white little spirals in the middle. Those are larvae that haven't been capped yet. But the reason it's kind of peppered all over is the queen is running out of places to lay eggs. And there was all nectar and honey in those cells, and so she's kind of constricted to wherever there's space, and at the moment there just hasn't been space, so that's what I'm trying to give them. This next one, all babies, all brood, with a handful that have nectar in them. But normally there's kind of this rainbow pattern to it where there's an arc on the outside of pollen and nectar, and then the inside is all babies. But she's been struggling to find places to put it, and basically is laying eggs anywhere that they've got space. And that's partly why I'm going to give them some space. So with that, this is the empty frame that I'm going to give them, right smack in the middle. This is a more formal hive inspection that I'm doing, so because I was getting so invasive, I am actually wearing the bee suit. So I'll flip the camera around. I don't know if that's a good angle, but hello. So I'm in the full-on deal right now, but normally I just come out here in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and they're happy and I'm happy, and everybody kind of does their thing. But given the amount of time I was going to spend in here today, I figured I'd go ahead and suit up just in case. This next frame, if I can get the bees out of the way. There we go. So again, like all capped brood down this side, and then there's a ton of larvae and nectar and pollen all through this one. And then this back side, same thing. Just pollen, nectar. You can see all the different colors of pollen, which is really neat. And she's so trying to lay eggs, see if I can get my camera to move around to this, that they actually built onto the frame below the actual frame and laid eggs in it. That's how hard up for egg space they were. So that was part of the thing today of giving them some room. It's the keeping part of the beekeeping that you gotta look after them and make sure they're cool. And there are so many bees in here. And this next frame is actually one I moved over. It's supposed to be one of the middle frames. Again, pollen, so much pollen, all the different colors. You just really kind of see like the oranges and the yellows and the almost reds, and then all of this is capped brood, and then this top section is all nectar and honey. Capped brood, nectar, capped brood, and then over in the corner here, if I can get them to move, you can see normally they stuff the corners with honey. There we go. So that corner's all honey. But I'm gonna put this right kind of in the middle. You gotta get them to wiggle a little bit and really gently set the frames down so that they make room for the ones that they're curious and they try to get under the little lips of the frame, and you don't want to hurt them, but you also have to get them to go. So on the side here I've got these little frame holders. That's how you make room in the hive because it's normally pretty full. On these, again, all pollen, capped brood, a little bit of nectar in the corner, but eggs, larvae, actual future bees. So we're going to put that next in here. And then last time I did this, I made a little bit of a mistake. I left too much room on this side over here. As you can see, a little bit of scrapes along the edge, but I basically scraped all the extra comb off. But they built almost an entire extra frame along that wall, and I really don't want them to do that. So you can see that's the comb that I took out. I'm going to leave it out here, and basically the bees will go and repack all that pollen. They'll take all that pollen out of those frames and move it over into these new frames, or into spaces where they do have room. But this is the last one. Oh, and sorry, I should show you, but those little bubble ones, those are drone brood. Those are boy bees. And then all the flat ones over here, those are girl brood, or worker bees. You can see this one's about to get capped. These two right here. I'll focus, come on. Sorry, doing this one-handed is a little tricky. That one, the head he just put his head in. They're gonna cap that. That's a drone. Or worker, sorry. But it's a larva that's gonna get put back in. Alright, I'm squeezing this little... Oh, autofocus got turned off. Sorry for the shaky cam. Like I said, this is all one-handed. And there's a few bees. One or two. So, as you can see, now it's all back together, but there are so many bees, and they needed some extra room. So I'm going to swap out that empty frame. Hopefully that gives them a little bit of extra room. And I'm probably going to have to add another brood box. I was hoping that they would move up into this top box, which they have, and they're filling this out. Let's see if I can